Thank you for coming along today. So we've been trying to do some photo walks as we're trying to get into the habit of doing them a little bit more regularly. So this is what we're here for, the Rollei 35 AF. Very quickly, who knows nothing about this? Or who's seen one of these before?
This here is 35mm film that has existed since the 1930s. This here is APS film, and it's existed since the mid-90s to 2011, barely around 15 years. This was supposed to be replaced by APS film, but it never did for a number of reasons. One is that APS film is smaller than 35mm, which means you get less resolution. The second is you can go ahead and put this in a Leica or any other high quality film camera or any other camera that's just got really good glass. Whereas with this here, you could only put it in a handful of systems. And I'll tell you right now, they are shit. Like this camera that I've got right here, the Minolta Victus S1, which I decided to test out on a photo walk. Now, one of the very first things I'll say about this camera is it's really difficult to focus with. It's got a weird thing, and I don't know if it's just this model, this lens, this camera, I have no idea, but normally you have a stop and a start point when it comes to being what's in focus. A minimum distance and a maximum distance. That's technically still true for the internals. However, the focus ring on this just doesn't stop, which makes it impossible to tell what's properly in focus a lot of the time. Now, one cool thing about this camera is it has autofocus. It is slow, very slow, but it does get things in focus. And I had to rely on it a lot to shoot with. But you know, there could be worse things. No autofocus. Now, usually autofocus on a camera, even one from the 90s like this, usually isn't too bad. Like, they just generally work, and the ones that I usually have on my Minolta camera are a lot faster than this. Now, this camera setup that I had these two lenses, this 22 to 80 and the 80 to 240. Now, I can't remember the maths for APS-C or APS, whatever the hell it is, to 35mm in the reverse, but essentially, I think like an 80 would be like equivalent to like a 50. And I just found, I can't remember, it's been a wee while, I think I ended up using the longer lens actually of the two, but don't quote me. Now with this camera, it's kind of like most 90s film cameras, especially the ones from Minolta or Canon. It has all your program modes that you can go ahead and control. It has an eject button, on and off switch, etc, etc, etc. It's actually pretty familiar for those that shoot Minoltas. Now, I don't have one on me. I'm definitely not going to buy one. I tried the new Rollei 35, which is what everyone was there for at the photo shoot. I'm not really going to add too much to that conversation. It's a small camera. The shutter sound is shit, to be honest. It's a cool, small, little camera, and it has LiDAR technology, which is supposed to make it focus better. But mine didn't. The photos that I've got were out of focus.
Alright, we've got the very last photo. This is from a photo walk and I'm just thinking it, so we're gonna thing. Why did that not flash?
Oh, because we've already quite flash.
Well, you didn't need it. Weird.
White bait fritter.
Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Nah, I'm in a photo walk. I'm on a photo walk at the moment, so I've got to hand this off.
If we're still here.
Yeah, I'll come back on by.
The photos shot on the Rollei 35 were mostly out of focus. In fact, this 90s hunk of junk, which, whilst being incredibly slow to focus, actually got photos better in focus than the Rollei 35. I was quite disappointed with it. I don't know if it was just that camera, but it just did not focus very well. Even take, for example, this photo here. Like, for the most part, they're kind of in focus, but definitely not. Look at the edges of the arm, look around the shoulder. They aren't in focus, not truly. So there's my review of the Rollei 35, I guess. I still think it's a cool idea. It's just not a camera for me, unfortunately. Now, I just don't understand why there isn't a camera maker out there who just doesn't want to make a manual camera. Something that is actually, to me at least, more simple than adding in autofocus technology. Now, you may be wondering why I would go ahead and shoot an older format like this. In particular, most APS film that you get is not frozen, so therefore it's usually expired and looks terrible, like these photos. Well, that's the thing. Well, I did buy a 3-pack here from Seller in New Zealand, but unfortunately, yes, still did not age very well. In fact, a really weird thing happened with this. I have shot the second roll of the 3 rolls. And the oddest thing was that the last few photos of this roll, I shot with the exposure compensation on, and it got worse the more I overexposed it. Take that as you will, a commentary on the performance of APS film. It's weird though, because this is the same Ultramax that you get in your 35mm these days, or at least quite close to, considering sometimes they have to change the chemical formulas. but for the muches, I should get similar results to expired Ultramax or Kodak Max that I've previously shot, but yeah, this was just absolute garbage. Now, I could go ahead and talk about APS film and the history of it, but you could just go to the Wikipedia page and read. But let me just run it down like this. It was gimmicky, overly complicated, did not actually give real photographers any real benefits. The glass was shit, the cameras were shit, and I should have gone ahead and not bothered buying this camera, but I did get it for a pretty cheap price, and same with the film, and I was curious. But as they say, curiosity killed the cat. This didn't kill my vibe for shooting film photography, but let's just say I will never again pick up an APS camera once I'm done with my 3 rods. Anyways, until next time, it's been real, guys. Sorry if my voice sounds a little bit different when I recorded this video. I'm still recovering from being sick, and there's probably some outtakes of me coughing my guts out that I'm never going to show you, of course.